Hello, welcome to the Lloyds Bank webinar on making payments in online for business. Today we're going to cover how to prepare for making a payment, a walkthrough of making payments, and then there is time for a Q&A session, so please leave us any questions in the box on the left-hand side. And then we'd be very grateful if you could complete our survey at the end to let us know how we did today. On your webinar today, your hosts are myself, Lewis Ryden, and we're joined by Owen McCann, Joanne Dix, Mark Clayton, and Chris Thomason. They'll be available at the end to answer your questions. So, on to making a payment. Did you know that in 2021, customers sent over £100 billion of payments in online for business? This webinar is going to show you how easy it is to make payments safely and securely using online for business. We'll give you tips on how to prepare and guide you through the important steps for making payments online. We're going to cover how to add and delete new payment recipients, how to set up new payments that can be sent instantly or up to 30 days in the future, and how to amend or cancel scheduled payments. So, what to think of beforehand. I'll talk through 5 important points which will help things go smoothly when you're making payments online. Number 1, confirm the details. Make sure you have the correct payment details for the person or business you need to send money to. Online for business security settings will automatically log you off if you've been inactive for more than 10 minutes, so it's best to have these details ready. You'll need the personal or business name on the recipient's account, their account number, sort code, and the date that you want to make the payment, as well as the amount. For faster payments made in online for business, you check the account details match the name on the destination account. This check is called confirmation of payee. We'll show you what it looks like in practice later on. Number 2, lead times. Faster payments usually arrive in the recipient's account immediately, but can take up to 2 hours. If you're sending a payment after 10 p.m. or on weekends and bank holidays, the payment is sent immediately, but may not appear in the recipient's account until the next day. There is a daily limit of £250,000 for faster payments for each business. This can be made as a single payment or spread across multiple transactions by multiple users if you have them in your business. Note that future dated payments and standing orders are actually limited to £999,999 per payment. Number 3, permissions. Make sure that you have the right permissions to make payments for your business. There are 3 levels of access to online for business, and only certain users are allowed to make payments. You'll get full access if you're the business owner or an account signatory. This also lets you apply for financial products such as loans and overdrafts, set up new users and payment controls, and make changes to the account, like updating the business address or phone number. Something to be aware of is that only one full access user is required to make payments online, even if your business requires 2 or more signatures for offline payments such as checks. Delegate access lets users perform most of the same actions as a full access user, such as making payments. However, there are some features they can't use, like setting up online payment controls or applying for financial products like loans and overdrafts. Users with view-only access can log on to online for business to check the account balance, view recent transactions, and download monthly summary statements, but they can't make any payments or change any account settings. This level of access may be used for admin or bookkeeping. You can find out more information on managing user access levels on the online for business website at Lloyds Bank. Number 4, payment controls. Online payment controls allow you to manage who can make and approve payments for your business online. There are several different options to choose from. You can create individual payment limits for each user. For example, someone can be set up to make payments by themselves for amounts up to £1,000, but for all payments over £1,000, they'll need authorization from another user. Could require all payments to be approved by someone else before the money is sent. And you can even set it up to require 2 or 3 other users in your business to authorize all payments before the funds are sent. Please note that the authorization or approval of payments can only be done on the website version of Online for Business, not in the mobile app. You need to be a full access user to set up these online payment controls. All users must be registered as either full access or delegate users before they can use the service. Remember, view-only users cannot make payments at all. Again, you can find out more information about this on our website. Number 5, be aware. Remember, if something feels wrong, then it's right to question it. Lloyds Bank will never contact you to move money into another account or to ask for your PIN or a number from your card reader. Online for Business uses the latest security technology to keep you and your money safe, but please stay alert to common fraudster tactics like requests to change payment details, putting you under pressure to make a rush decision, or sending links to fake websites. Always double-check payment details, particularly to a new recipient. You can do this, for example, by using a telephone number that you already trust. If you're ever in doubt, please delay. Take a second to think it through and stay safe online. Now that's enough preparation. I'll hand over to Owen, who will guide you through the steps to making payments in Online for Business.
Thank you, Lewis, and hello to everyone online today. We'll go through the 4 key journeys you will need to know to successfully make payments online. We'll start each journey from the account overview page, the place you arrive at immediately after logging on. As a quick reminder before we get started, that if you do have issues with logging on, you can find help online by clicking the Forgotten Login Details button and entering your details there. Follow the instructions and you can find your user ID, reset your password, or reset your memorable information. Now, let's get started. Let's begin by adding a payment recipient. From the account overview page, select Payments and Transfers. This takes you to the Payment Hub, and from here, select the Add a New Recipient button. You'll then be asked to enter the payment details of the person or business you want to add. You'll need their full name, sort code, and account number. As you fill in the details, you'll see our system is running an automatic check to make sure everything matches up. This is called confirmation of payee, and it's designed to protect you from falling victim to fraud. At the next step, you can enter a payment reference which will appear on your statement. This step is optional, and you can use it to enter an invoice number or something memorable that will make it easy to refer back to. Finally, you'll be prompted to check all of the details are correct before confirming your new payment recipient. Remember that you can also add new payment recipients on our mobile app. Once you've added a payment recipient, their details will stay the same within your account. Going back to our tips from earlier, if someone calls or emails from out of the blue saying a supplier's payment details have changed, you should be suspicious and double check using a number you trust. Next, let's see how to delete a payment recipient. From the account overview page, select Payments and Transfers. Then select the Delete a Recipient button on the left-hand side. This brings up a list of all your payment recipients. Scroll through the list or search for the ones you no longer need. Select the X button and then hit Delete to confirm. Again, if you use our mobile app, you're able to delete payment recipients there as well. Now let's walk through how you make a payment. Starting from the account overview page, select Payments and Transfers. At the top of the screen, you'll see what account you're sending money from. In this case, it's my current account. Click the green button to choose who to send money to. You'll see a list of your payment beneficiaries, as well as your other accounts, in case you wanted to make an internal transfer. Selecting your payment recipient brings up a new screen where you can enter the amount to pay, along with a payment reference if you wish. You also have the option to schedule your payment up to a month from today, as well as repeating the payment as a standing order. On the next screen, we'll get you to double check the details are correct before confirming the payment. Payments should typically arrive immediately, but remember, if you set up a payment on a weekend or bank holiday, it will appear in your recipient's account on the next working day. When you pay someone for the first time, you'll need to use your card and reader to confirm the payment. This is an industry regulation called Strong Customer Authentication, and it's designed to keep you safe from fraud. When making a payment on our mobile app, you'll need to enter your password instead of using the card and reader, which is useful to know in case you need to make a payment and don't have your card and reader with you. Finally, let's look at how you amend or cancel a payment scheduled for the future. From the Account Overview screen, select More Actions. This brings up a menu on the right of your screen. Select Payments and Transfers and scroll down to find the Manage Future Dated Payments option. You'll see a list of your pending payments here, along with the amount and when they're due to be sent. To cancel a payment, hit the X button and then Confirm. To change a payment, hit the Amend button. This brings up a screen that allows you to change the payment reference, amount, or date. When you're ready, you can confirm the changes by entering your password. And that's it. We've just gone through the 4 most important journeys for making online payments.
Now, before I hand back to Lewis and we go on to the Q&A section, I wanted to mention a couple of other payment options that you have in Online for Business. Bulk payments allow you to submit a batch of up to 25 payments that appears on your statement as just one transaction. This is really useful for running payroll, letting you combine individual salary amounts together for convenience. Bulk payments is a separate service which requires a separate payment limit to be agreed with your relationship manager, and it doesn't count towards your £250,000 daily limit for faster payments. That's because it uses BACS payments, which means you need to plan ahead by submitting the payment by 5:30 p.m. 2 days before the payment is due. You can find out more online or through your relationship manager, but please leave a comment if you'd like us to go into more detail on bulk payments in a future webinar. Secondly, you can make international payments in over 130 different currencies in Online for Business. You can do it all online and get an instant quote before you pay. Again, you can pay up to the equivalent of £100,000 per transaction and up to £250,000 per day, in addition to the faster payment limits we mentioned previously.
Now let's open the floor to answering your questions, and I can see some that have come in already while we've been presenting. I'll hand back to Lewis, who should have the first question ready to go.
And I'll have a look for the first questions. The first questions come in. I'll read that out. So, what are the payment limits in Online for Business? Joanne, I think you can answer that.
Yes, certainly, thank you. So payment limits, you can do a transactional limit of £250,000 as a faster payment. Your account daily limit is also £250,000. Now, if you were going to do a bill payment, which is future dated payment, you can do up to £99,999. Still have your account daily limit of £250,000. So you could do a couple of the £99,999 until you reach your account daily limit. Standing orders are exactly the same, £99,999, and then that's set up to the account daily limit of £250,000. If you were going to send money outside of the UK, you can do a transaction limit of £250,000, still with the account daily limit of £250,000.
Thank you, Joanne. And am I right in thinking that international payments and bulk payments are on top of that? Is that right?
So the international payment will come out of the account daily limit. The bulk payment doesn't.
Okay, thank you. So we're on to our next question. I think there's one for Owen here. Can you do all of these journeys on the mobile app?
You can do most of these journeys. What you can't do at the moment is amend or cancel a future dated payment, and international payments, which we did discuss at the very end, and bulk payments are only possible on desktop.
Okay, thank you. So we have one more question. If we require 2 signatures to make an online payment, is this possible to set up in Online for Business? I think, Mark, would that be one for you?
Yeah, I can answer this one. So yes, if you do require 2 payments, 2 signatures to confirm a payment, you can set up online payment control. So on the landing page or your accounts page, you can go to more actions, online payment control, and then you can apply for either 2 to authorize or 3 to authorize all payments. There is also a third option called user limit, whereby you can set a particular user a specific limit, which they can make payments up to that limit. Anything over that limit would need authorizing by a full signatory on the online banking service.
Okay, great. Thank you, Mark. We have our next question. What should I do if I see a payment I don't recognize? I think, Chris, is that for you?
Certainly, yes. If you see a payment you don't recognise, then the best thing to do, if you have a relationship manager, is speak to your relationship manager or contact our fraud helpline immediately. Now, this is a number that you should have. It'll be on your paperwork somewhere. Keep it to hand. I'm not giving you the number because there are several different numbers that might be applicable to different situations. But it's one of those numbers that when you need it fast. So I put it on one of your emergency lists somewhere so you can call in to actually find out what is going on. And obviously, if something is untoward, if for some reason that is not a payment that you recognize, then straight away the colleague in our call center will put a block on the account while they correct the situation. But then obviously after that, you've got to go back to try and figure out what actually caused that. And if anybody has more questions around what may have caused fraud, I'm willing to answer those for sure. But that's your first point of call, either your RM or call in on the nominated number you provided with regard to fraud issues.
Okay, great. Thank you, Chris. On to our next question. I think, Joanne, this will be one for you. Are you able to upload payments using a BACS import file?
It's not something our Online for Business platform offers, but there is a commercial platform that does offer this.
But that commercial platform would be additional charges. That's what they need to do. Okay, thank you. We're on to the next question. Can you block your debit or credit card online? Mark, I think, can you do that?
Yeah, so in certain circumstances, your debit or credit card could be blocked when transacting online. What we may offer, providing we have a mobile number for you, is send you a one-time password to your mobile phone to unblock your card and allow you to do that transaction. In some circumstances, you may need to contact the bank. The number would be on the back of your debit or credit card, which would put you through to our potential fraud team just to remove any potential blocks and get you back on your way in doing your transactions online with your cards.
So, Mark, I think I would also have another interpretation of that question. Can I block my credit or debit card online? So as in maybe freeze the card, for example?
Yes, so we've got card freeze, which you can do if you do have the mobile banking app. You can cancel or sort of freeze your cards to be used online. Overseas, you have a few options, or all blocks implied, which will stop your card from being used.
Okay, thank you. We have another question now. How do I add a user to Online for Business?
Okay, so yeah, if you wanted to have another party access to your accounts on business banking, you can actually get them to register as a delegate. So if you wanted an accountant maybe to access your accounts, to view your accounts, they would go online and register as a non-signatory, fill in the application form. This would then be printed off, signed in accordance with the business mandate, posted back to a registration team, and once verified, this would generate a card and card reader for that party. and you would only give them the access that you would want them to have yourself, and that will go on to the part with if you wanted to add online payment control, or they could have full access to be able to make payments for you, or they could have view-only access, but they would need to apply separately for internet banking.
Okay, thank you. Next question. Why do I sometimes have to use my card reader when I'm making a payment? Chris, could you answer that?
Certainly. I'm open to correction on this, but I believe whenever you actually make a payment to a new payee, then you have to use your card reader. Now, bear in mind that if you change the banking details of somebody, that effectively might require the use of a card reader as well. There may be other occasions when a card reader is required to be used, and I might pass this across to Joanne to clarify that.
So yeah, whenever you actually set up new recipients, then you do have to verify it with the card reader. Once they're set up, then you can go online and just enter your password. Now and again, it may ask you to input the details of the card reader. That is just for security purposes.
Super. Thanks, Joe and Chris. We're on to our next question. So where can I see my future dated payments? Owen, can you do that?
Sure, thanks, Lewis. So when you are in your online account, if you select the More Actions button, the green one on your account page, on the right-hand side there's a menu, and then if you click on Account Services, you'll be able to see some options for forecast. So you can see a forecast for your cleared balance for every day for the next 30 days. And similarly, you can see the forecasted payments up to 30 days from now. So it's helpful for planning into the future and seeing what's supposed to be coming out.
Super. Thank you. One more question. How do I set up the online payment controls? Mark, are you able to walk through that?
Of course. So yeah, to set up online payment control, this would have to be done on the desktop version of the website. This can only be applied for by a signatory who has full internet banking access. To do this, once they are logged on the Your Accounts page or landing page, you'll see More Actions to the right-hand side, Online Payment Control, and then you'll see the option Apply for Online Payment Control. There will be 3 options to choose from. You have user limits, so therefore you can set up limits for an individual, which they can pay up to that amount. Anything over would need authorizing by the full signatory on the account or full IP user. Second option is to authorize, which would require 2 people to authorize each payment made online, and 3 to authorize all payments. Again, you'd need 3 people to authorize the payment before it leaves the account.
Okay, super. Thank you, Mark. We've come to the end of all the questions, so unless any more appear very shortly, I think I'm going to draw this to a close. If you have any questions after this, or you want to find out any more information, you can find out more information online. So I'm just seeing one more question pop in. So when does my password expire? And do I need to change it frequently? Joanne or Mark, are you able to answer those?
So we do recommend keeping your password secure and changing it on a regular basis. It's not that it will expire, but it is best practice if you can update it.
So officially, we would recommend that you update your password and change it frequently, but the system won't force you to do so.
It won't force you to do it, no, but it's best practice if it's now and again that you can change it.
Brilliant. Thank you. Okay, so on that final question, I'll thank everyone for your questions and for attending today. I hope you found the session useful. There will be a short survey, which we'd appreciate if you could complete to let us know how we did and if there's anything that you'd like in particular for a future session. Otherwise, that's the end of the webinar. Thank you very much.